The craziest thing that changed. I'm sorry if this is TMI. Hi everyone, welcome back if you're not new. My name is Mathilda. Obviously. Today I'm going to talk about what I didn't expect to change on the HRT. And if you're interested in me talking about like trans topics and my transition and everything like that, please hit that subscribe button. I'm waiting. But before we get into all of that, I'm letting you know that this video session is sponsorship with NordVPN. And if you're not entirely sure what NordVPN does or what a VPN actually is, I'm going to tell you. And VPN is a virtual private network that helps you keep your internet access safe from any third parties that can steal your data. Because if you didn't know, when you're online doing whatever you're doing online, third parties can actually track and steal your data. So VPN helps you protect your internet access safe from that. However, what I mostly use my VPN for is to actually change my IP address to another country from day to day. And what I mean by that, when you're on streaming services, for example, such as Netflix, they aren't really exactly the same. So I live in Sweden, and Sweden's Netflix isn't really as good as the American Netflix. So what I do, I go into my NordVPN settings and I switch, and then I can access the regional content in that country. And I can do that with all different countries. So if there's a movie you really want to see and it's only available in Germany, for example, you can just switch your IP address to a German one, which is honestly insane and amazing. And if you're interested, I have a huge deal right now. If you click this link in my top comment or in my description box, you will get the deal of your life. NordVPN is amazing and I use it on a daily basis. But now let's get into all of the things that I didn't expect to change on hormone replacement therapy. The first thing is how much everything costs. And I'm talking about like clothes and makeup and stuff. It's insane. I never knew how expensive it would really be just changing up your entire wardrobe, because you've kind of been like accumulating stuff in your life. Like before transitioning, you kind of accumulating things in your wardrobe, like getting things on your birthdays, purchasing things for yourself, just like hand-me-downs and things like that. Your entire wardrobe is like gone, toss it out, toss it away, put it on sale, I don't know, but it's crazy, absolutely insane how expensive it is. And yeah, I was shocked. Obviously, I knew that I was going to build my wardrobe from the scratch, but I never imagined it to be that expensive. And makeup, like don't get me started on makeup. How is makeup so damn expensive? How, like I don't get it. I can't for the life of me understand why makeup is so damn expensive, and I'm still shocked to this day. This lipstick is like $20. How? Is it because it's targeted to women? I don't get it. Patriarchy, hi, can you change the prices on lipstick because I can't purchase any? Thank you. Yeah, but I digress. And the second thing to change, and I have talked about this before, so I'm going to keep it short and simple, but what I'm talking about is my emotional range. It's a lot wider and broader now, and I feel everything a lot more, like all of my feelings are heightened. When I first went on the estrogen and the testosterone blockers, I noticed my mood fluctuating a lot and getting mood swings, and I did know this beforehand because a lot of people told me. However, what they didn't tell me about was my feelings and my emotions were going to change forever. I know that that sounds really dramatic, but this is my channel and I am dramatic. I just felt everything a lot more. When I was happy, I was happier than I was before, and when I was sad, I was sadder. And I was just a lot more in touch with my feelings, if that makes sense. And I do believe that it's both due to the hormone replacement therapy, but also like societal standards, just like me being allowed to express myself a lot more. But yeah, that was one thing that changed. My emotional range was just a lot wider. But yeah, and the third one, I don't know if this is TMI, but I'm going to tell you anyways. I'm sorry about that, but I didn't expect this to change. When I went on the HRT, I noticed my scent and like my odor and my sweat changing. Yeah, like let me explain. Before I transitioned, I sweat a lot, or sweat. Yeah, and the odor and like my scent changed when I went on the estrogen and the testosterone blockers. I don't know if this is common, but I smell different and I don't sweat as much. And when I do, it doesn't smell as much, if you get me. So yeah, that is something that I didn't expect to change. And yeah, and the fourth thing to change, and I know that you've heard about this before, but it was my libido. I didn't really have a high libido before I transitioned. My gender dysphoria was really, really bad, and I was just like disgusted with myself and everything like that. Like I never did anything prior to me transitioning. I noticed my libido changing when I went on the testosterone blockers. It just went down the drain. It just disappeared completely. Because even though I didn't really do anything, I still went through puberty, and your body changes whether you want it or not. So obviously I had a libido. That changed. It just went down the drain, it disappeared completely, and it didn't really return to any degree before I had my bottom surgery, which I had maybe like 1.5 years after I went on the hormone replacement therapy. And then my libido went up to the same level as it was before, but it wasn't really that high, no, you know, to begin with. So I do have quite a low libido. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about that too much, like. But the fifth one, I think, is a quite big one, and that is you won't be a completely new person. And what I mean by this is before I transitioned, I kind of imagined myself being a completely new person. And obviously HRT changes a lot with your body and your face and everything. However, it varies from person to person. So one person could have a lot of changes on the hormone replacement therapy and another one not so much. And I kind of changed a lot with the HRT. However, I'm still the same person. Like, I still kind of look the same. I kind of look like the twin sister of my previous self. So don't think that you're going to change into this like Victoria's Secret model, because that's not how HRT works. You're just going to look different, but you're not going to get like a new set of DNA. You're not going to be like genetically different. You're still going to be the same person. You're still going to have the same bone structure and same height and everything like that. However, yes, there are a lot of things that will change. You will get a lot of muscle toning. A lot of your muscles will disappear, which will make you like smaller, I guess. And you will notice a lot of fat redistribution. Like, that is such a hard word, I'm sorry. Fat redistribution. Yeah, obviously I knew deep inside that I would not be a Victoria's Secret model when I transitioned. However, you kind of have this fantasy in your head. So that is something that is incredibly important. You won't be a completely new person. You will just look a little bit different. And the last, but definitely not least, is it won't only be hard on you, but also people around you, and it's important to take them into consideration. And I'm not implying in any way, shape, or form that you shouldn't transition just because someone is telling you so. That is not at all what I'm saying. What I mean by this is it's important to also see the people around you. When I transitioned, my focus was just on me, obviously, because I am me and I am the person I am. I had been living with this guilt for so long that I just kinda ignored all people around me when I transitioned, just because I couldn't deal with it anymore. I am going to talk about that in another video, but when I finally transitioned, I just tuned everything out to, you know, focus on me. And I did that to kind of survive, I guess. But it's also important to realize that the people around you, they're hurting as well. It's not only you. Obviously, you are you and you have a harder time than, you know, people around you. You are transitioning, not them. However, it's important to consider their feelings as well. Tell them you see them, you understand their feelings. However, you really need the extra support during this time, and they need that support as well. So you can support each other, and they're not transphobic just because they're letting you know that it's hard on them. Because transitioning is hard on everyone. They're losing your old self. Even if you're the same person, it feels for them like they're losing a person in their life. Even though you're still, even though you're still here, it still affects them in some way or another. So yeah, that is just what I'm saying. I'm not implying that you should focus only on them, or I'm not saying that if they're, disgusting or saying transphobic things, you should just like do whatever they're telling you and you should not transition because it's hard on them. I'm not implying anything like that at all. When I transitioned, a lot of my friends had a hard time dealing with my transition, and some of them I'm still friends to this day, and other people I'm not friends with because they were transphobic. They didn't have a hard time dealing with it, or they had a hard time dealing with it, but they dealt with it in a really bad and horrible way, and they said really disgusting things to me. And I kind of had a hard time with that in the beginning, just because I had felt guilty for such a long time. But yeah, I'm going to talk about that in another video. But yeah, I think that was all of the things, and there are more, but this video is going to be so long if I talk about them all, so maybe I can do another video if you're interested. But don't forget to check out NordVPN down below, huge deal, top comment, link in my description box. But yeah, please click like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps me with the algorithm and pushes this video out to more people. But now, bye guys!